Hello all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are on the topic of VPC endpoints of AWS. And if you are new to my channel, and I made a dedicated playlist on many of the AWS topics, you can watch it and enjoy while learning. And before starting this topic VPC endpoints, this topic is an extension of Bastion host. This topic is extension of Bastion host, and I recommend you to watch that video which I made, what is Bastion host, and I will give in the description link. You watch and come back this video of VPC endpoints, the same which I mentioned, and Bastion host I already did video, so this is extension of that. Coming to the topic, what is VPC endpoints? The name is suggest it works at the end of our own VPC of our Bastion host. Here what I mention is, you or me want to access a private subnet. What we will used to do is, we used to SSH into public subnet where there is internet access. Here there is no internet access. Here the public subnet there is internet access, where here is private subnet, no internet access. So you want to access into private subnet, you need to SSH into here, and from there you would SSH into here. That if you want to access any of the other AWS services such as S3, DynamoDB, SNS, SQS, any of other AWS service from the private subnet, the concept is VPC endpoints. If you want to access other AWS services such as S3, SNS, SQS, from the public subnet, only role is enough. But if you want to access any of the AWS service from the private subnet where is no internet access, the VPC endpoints come into works. And remember, only VPC endpoint doesn't works. You need to create both VPC endpoint plus role. Here it is only role for the public subnet. So I am gonna do practical way in this example on this tutorial, and at the end of the video, and I will explain you what are the benefits of VPC endpoints and what are the limitations of VPC endpoints. Both I will discuss at the end of the tutorial, both for VPC endpoints, what are the benefits and limitations. And now get started the practical way. And I already created our Bastion host, and I will give in the description how to do it. So I'm gonna SSH into the public instances, which was in the public subnet, taking the public IP. Now we are in the public instances which was in public subnet. So from here we need to access AWS services, we need to access private subnet which doesn't have internet access. Before doing that, we need to copy the file. So I'm gonna use here. I copied the key pair for this particular, and I gonna copy it here. Give the full permission chmod 700/tmp/key pair. I given permissions and I into SSH into the key pair dot pam. This is a user login of private subnet image @ go to instance, take that private instance IP, remember private instances doesn't have public IP, so you need to take private IP, copy, paste it. It will log it. So now we are in the private instances. How can you know? It usually ask yes. Now it was access immediately. If it not, you have to type yes, then you will access. And how you will get to know? See here the end of the IP address, it was 188. Before it was 143, 188. So we are in the private instances. So if you want to access other AWS services, suppose if I want to access AWS S3 LS, it will ask like unable to locate credentials, and it doesn't give directly. It will so if you want to access other AWS services, come to your search, type endpoints. Here this endpoints. Create endpoints. Give any name endpoints. My endpoint. You want to access other AWS service, so I was taking here AWS service. If you want to do other things like private link, you need to select. So I'm going to access here. So I was selecting AWS services, and I was going to type here S3. So search it. You will find type S3 and you will find gateway. Select the gateway. Select our VPC. Selecting my own VPC, which I did, and I already told how to do it in description. As I mentioned, like what is Bastion host. Select both route tables. Create endpoint. One is done. As I mentioned, only creating of VPC endpoint doesn't work. You need to create role. And how to create a role? As I mentioned here, only VPC endpoint doesn't work. We need to create a role also. And how to do it? Let's do it. You need to create, go to IAM. Go to roles. Create role. What service you want to access? and to access EC2. Why? From private subnet is the instance, I was taking EC2. Next, here type S3 full. Why? I want to access S3 bucket. So I am typing S3 full. Select. Next, give any role name, ECT2 S3. And if you are new to IAM concept, I made a dedicated video on theory and both the practical way, and I explained all the concept of policies, roles, how to do it, and I made a practical way and everything. You can watch it and learn it and enjoy while learning. So I name anything EC2 to S3, create a role, let it created. Yeah, it was created successfully. As I mentioned, I already explained every concept in that my previous video. All the user groups, what are roles, what are policies, everything I already explained. You can watch it. Now back to the topic. Come to EC2 instance. Go to instance. Go to, remember we are accessing from the private instances which was located in the private instance subnet. Like what I'm trying to say is we are accessing from the private subnet which are instances here. So we need to attach that role from here. So basically we are SSH into here. But if you want to access other AWS service, we need to attach the role here, the role. Remember that was important. So how to do it? Select instance, come to actions, go to security, modify IAM role. Here need to attach. EC2 to S3 update. Now it was perfect. Did everything. VPC endpoint to S3. Both is done. As I mentioned, it successfully attached. Now if you do the same thing, it was saying I need to login. I'm just going to here, restart session. Okay. Now I'm starting from the starting. Yeah, sudo su, and I was going to do ssh -i, and you need to give that path where you look keep here. Take private IP. Remember we are in the database, it doesn't have public, so we are already logging into public subnet instance. Now we are into private subnet, so login, it will ask, it was logged. So you can notice that the IP address is 188, which was a private instance. Here it is 143, it is public instance. And remember, and for easiness, and already created some examples of S3. If you are new to my channel, and I made a dedicated video how to do it on S3 complete, and explained everything how to do host static website in the S3. You can watch it. So we are trying to access here. Before it was not visible. Now if you type AWS S3 ls, You can notice it was created 2 buckets. You can notice, right? Previously, if we try to do it, it was not. There is no permission to do it everything. Now there is. So even we can create from here. Suppose if you want to create new AWS service bucket, we can type any name. Suppose I will giving name, it will create it. Yeah, you notice AWS bucket make bucket is created. You can type AWS S3 ls. You can notice the new bucket is created. And even we can delete also. How to do it? Type AWS S3 type the same name, it will get deleted also. You can type AWS S3 ls. You can notice you'll see only 2 buckets. That's the way you can access from the private subnet. Remember, you need to delete everything, the instance and everything. And because AWS will cost you, VPC endpoints is a cost which AWS will charge. You need to delete everything. And how to do it? Come here. We need to delete everything. I need to delete everything like all the IP address because AWS will cost you. You need to delete NAT gateway and you need to release the elastic IP address and everything we need to do it because AWS will charge you for all the things. And it will get deleted. And remember, you need to delete elastic IP address also and also delete our own VPC. And coming back to the benefits of what are the benefits of VPC endpoints. The benefits of VPC endpoints are the first benefit is it is reduce latency. Like if you want to access other services, the time interval is to be very less. That is the best benefit. It doesn't take long time and there is no firewall bound. We don't need to create an extra firewall from the private subnet. That is another benefit. What the third benefit? It is lower data transfer fee. If you want to access from here other services, it is cost you less cost by using the concept of VPC endpoints. Other is there is less attacks and more security by using AWS VPC endpoint. From here there is less attacks and more security will be happen if you want to access the and another thing is it is better compliance rated in standard maintain happen. These are the benefits as per company regulations. These are the benefits of VPC endpoints. And you can ask what are the limitations? There is also limitation. What are the limitation? VPC endpoint only work for IPv4, not v6. That is the first limitation. And another is the request has to be in same region. The region VPC endpoint you created has to request it from the same region. That is another thing. And these are the things, most limitations which is happen. And if you are new to my channel, subscribe my channel, like, share, and who are new to AWS, where you friends or you want to learn, share with my channel, and more topics are gonna come in the upcoming days. And remember, delete this NAT gateway and also release this elastic IP at the end of your session. Release it, delete, it is get release elastic IP. Come to home, just delete. Before that, need to terminate both the instances and select all, select which are running, both are running, terminate, it will get terminated. Come to VSD console, delete, select, go to actions, delete, and it will get delete all the services. It will gonna take some time because it is gonna elastic IP has to be get released. So, and VPC also it is still in the shutdown mode. Let it shut down. Once it is terminated, you can delete it. It will get deleted. Type just delete. Remember, you need to delete in the order of VPC endpoint, NAT gateway, release elastic IP, and instances, and VPC and our own VPC. See you in the next video and on another important topic. Until then, take care. Subscribe my channel.